Welcome to PM Express. My name is Martha Krensolakwa, and this evening we are talking demolition politics. Sounds controversial, sounds confusing, but that is what demolition exercises in our country has become. Now we are exploring the meeting that happened today, the high-powered meeting from the Accra Metropolitan Assembly through local government to the regional minister and the slum dwellers, and what the way forward is for relocation and possible demolition of old Fadama, as you know, Sodom and Gomorrah. We'll be back and talk about all that and more. This is still PM Express, and my name is Martha Krensolakwa. I've been joined in the studio by Abdullah Al-Hassan, who is the Secretary of the Slum Union of Ghana, to talk about demolition politics. I'll also be joined later by Deputy Local Government Minister Neelanti Vanderpoy, who is also the MP for Ododo, where you can find the biggest slum in the country, Old Fadama, or Sodom and Gomorrah, as you want to call it. And along the line, I'll tell you what President Mahama thinks about the whole demolition thing, and then what Accra Mayor, who is bent on going ahead with it, thinks about it. But first of all, Abdullah, you're welcome to our studios.
Thank you very much.
How would you put the demolition exercise, the Old Fadama or Sodom and Gomorrah demolition exercise?
Simply, it's illegal.
Illegal. What makes it illegal?
It's illegal because there are rules that governs demolition.
Okay.
The UN has conventions that you need to follow if you want to evict somebody from either your house or your land. And all these rules were violated, all of them. Not even one was fulfilled. So that's why I call it illegal.
Okay, let's go back. How it all started.
So,
give the history.
Yes. So, well, everybody knows how people got to stay there. That is by resettling internally displaced people from a conflict, and then resettling people from some slums around the ministries because there was going to be non-alliance conference. That's how people got there. But at a point in time, the city thought that we were developing too much, and that place is not supposed to be a community. For that matter, there was a need to resettle the people. So the city tried to acquire land at Ajenkotoku, and then the problem then was as to how the resettlement should be carried out. So it was as, we have markets there, that is why we sell, and then we live there as well. So they needed to build the markets, and then they can move us there. This was the process until there was a change of government.
Okay.
So when there was a change of government...
When was this? Put years to it.
So like the whole arrangement, to my knowledge, because I'm actually young in the community, though I've lived there for 10 years, but I'm a young boy, and I'm not... There are a lot more elderly people who go to engage in this. But I got to know everything about it in 2006, when we lost the court case when we went to have the right to stay there permanently. The court said we don't have the right to stay there permanently and we should be removed. But then the court also said it should be done with a human face. So the government then interpreted with their lawyers that the human face means they should find us alternative accommodation. Okay. So they tried to get land at Ajenkotoku, which they did. They acquired the land from the chiefs, and then they were able to get funding from Belgium government to relocate us.
Okay.
So that is where it got to. And in fact, the first tranche of that funding came, and they started working on the roads in that land, the drains, so they will make sure that that place doesn't become another slum. But there was a change of government. And so this process...
That altered the process?
Yes, this process, I understand, continued. But it did not continue the way we expected it. Because at that time, we were told that they will build just the markets, and we'll have to commute to Ajenkotoku on a daily basis to go to market and come back to Accra. And if you know, Ajenkotoku is very far. It's far away from Accra. So we said we are not against relocation because we know the land is not ours. But then it will be impossible for somebody to be traveling from Accra to Ajenkutuku every day to trade and come back. So we would wish that the land is very big. We went there, we went round. So there's no way all the markets can take all the land. So we wish that other parts of the land that the market will not take should be given to us so that we just put our homes there and then we'll stay there forever. We don't have to commute to Accra on a daily basis. But that was the place,
so
the
where are we now?
What point are we now? At the moment, I'm confused.
Really?
I am confused because what is going on has never come up in any of our discussions.
Okay.
It has always been a friendly discussion of creating a space for them to be able to desilt the Odo River and then also desilt the lagoon, which we supported. In fact, before 2009, the Odo River was desilted twice every year. The time I was staying there, I started staying there from 2005. And from 2005 to 2009, I know the Odo River was desilted twice every year. Sometimes we were employed, we the residents there were employed to desilt it, and we were able to earn income from that work. But after 2009, it was never desilted again.
Okay.
Until 2012, when the AMA said they wanted to desilt it, we were happy.
But something that came up is that your activities or the slum dwellers' activities have direct impact on the Kole Restoration Project and then the Odo River.
Well, with the Kole Restoration Project, I will agree. Because if you look at the plan of the project, they need to do some kind of beautification of the area. And if we continue to live there, that work cannot go on.
Okay, so
which I agree. But we all know that, and that is why the government of the day was making frantic effort to move us so that the project can go on. But then this is the problem. What is going on now is not about the Kole Restoration Project.
So before we go into details on that one, President Mahama on June 12 went around touring some flood-prone areas and all that, and he went there and he actually talked about it. So I would like us to play back what President Mahama said on June 12 and see how we tie it into our conversation.
You understand? So this you can see the effect of the community on the lagoon. A lot of human activity around the lagoon area, including unsanitary practices, pollution, and all that. At the time the restoration project was going on, I remember a survey was done, and Sodom and Gomorrah was said to be a settlement of about 30,000 people. We've not done another survey, but my understanding is the population has virtually doubled. And so we'll be talking about anything between 50 and 60,000 people. We necessarily must do something about it because it is a danger both to the people who live in the settlement and to the whole of the development of the city. And so the mayor and the institutions concerned are going to start some sensitization, and we'll have to find a means of resettling a lot of the people there so that we can demolish and allow the water channel to be freed up. There was a plan to resettle the people at Ajenkutuku, and that project was not ever completed, and so the resettlement didn't take place. But I think that we must learn the lessons of what has happened, and out of this tragedy, one has to do what he has to do. And so I guess, I mean, Sodom and Gomorrah is an indictment on us. Even the conditions in that settlement are not the best for human habitation.
You heard President Mahama saying Sodom and Gomorrah is an indictment on all of us, and he described it also as a danger to residents there and to the city, the planning, the dredging of the Kole Lagoon, and everything else. Abdallah.
Yes.
You heard the president.
Yes. First of all.
So you agree it's an indictment?
First of all, it's an indictment on them. I agree.
On them, not on us?
No.
Okay.
I say it's on them because they settled the people there. Well, for me, government of the day is the same government of Ghana. So whether it was this or that government, it's the same thing. And when the people were settled there, there was a plan to relocate them fast. But this plan was never carried out.
Okay.
So it's an indictment on them. But this is what I had. The problem I had with the speech the president gave was the name he called the community. If I was the president of Ghana, I would not wish any community in my country to be called Sodom and Gomorrah.
Because of the history?
Because of what Sodom and Gomorrah means. And in fact, the president, as a president of the country, should know the name of the community. I expect him to know. But if he doesn't know, I will pardon him for that. The name is called Old Fadama. And if you go to the community, there is a police station there, and the police station is called Old Fadama Police Station.
Okay.
By the way, that is not even the main point.
They've been contesting the name.
Yes.
Every time.
Every time, because before 2009, the community was never called Sodom and Gomorrah.
Okay.
It was in 2009 when the regional minister said Sodom and Gomorrah must go. Then people started, and it sounded very pleasant to the media, so everybody started using it.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the point. The president said the need for them to resettle the people.
And he mentioned there are supposed to be processes, sensitization and all
resettlement, and then he also mentioned Ajen Kotuku, and he mentioned that there was a process to do it and it never ended. Now, what we are seeing today, is it a process of resettlement?
But we have been talking about this for God knows how long. I have not settled there before, so I can't tell whether you've been engaging city authorities.
So I was talking about the engagement. So we've been engaging. The challenge now is the land, because the chiefs at Ajen Kotuku says they are not ready to receive us in their community. And the reason I heard initially was that our number is too big, which is a reasonable argument to make. And the state can make an attempt to relocate us in different locations. We don't have to be dumped in the same space. Okay. But
has that come up in your negotiations with city authorities?
We have mentioned that in one of our meetings, but then I don't know if it was taken. But then the major problem now, as we are speaking, is the forced eviction that is going on, and the reason that is given for that forced eviction.
What reason have you been given?
The reason is that they want to desilt the lagoon.
That's not reason enough for you.
It's not a reason at all, because the lagoon has been desilted twice a year since 2005 when I started living there, and no table was ever broken because of the desilting of the lagoon.
So you think there's more to it than just desilting?
There's more to it. So I expected them to tell us the truth, what the reason is, so that we can all talk about the reason.
Will that settle anything if they tell you the truth?
Well, if they tell us the truth, the whole Ghana will understand.
Anyway, what do you suspect to be the truth that you're not being told?
For me, I suspect that the mayor just wants to satisfy some people who are putting pressure on him to reclaim the land for them.
Really?
Yes. That's what I suspect.
You suspect that?
Yeah, because I don't know why you use this flood that took place on June 3rd, unfortunately, to blame we, the residents of Old Fadama.
But you were affected.
We were affected.
Yes.
But in fact, if you look at the magnitude of the flood in other communities, ours was nothing. In our community, nobody was injured, like hospitalized or killed. But in some communities, so many people were drowned because of the levels of the flood.
Okay.
It means that our community is not the worst area.
So the mayor has work to do in other communities.
In other communities. And if the water was blocked in our community, then our community would have been the first community to be flooded, get full, before it goes to other communities. But remember, the flooding happened upstream. The water did not even get to our community. It means that the drains are choked upstream, not in our community.
But you heard the president say that they have to do what they have to do.
Yeah, and he mentioned what they have to do.
Yes.
He said they need to resettle the community, and before the resettlement, they need to do sensitization and talking to the people, and that is what they have to do. And I support them; they have to do it.
Oh, So you support that, but how they are doing it is your problem.
What they are doing is not resettlement.
Okay.
They are just
Forced
displacing
eviction.
people. They are just displacing people into the streets. As we speak now, if you go there, you see people sleeping by the road. That is not resettlement.
Is it one of the conditions the UN sets for?
Yes. Yes, that's one of the conditions. And in fact, even on that condition, if you even meet the condition of resettlement, you don't have to force the people out on a rainy season.
Okay.
You don't have to force the people out if it's a country that has winter, for example. So when it's snowing, you don't have to force the people out. So assuming they had provided houses for us and we refused to move, and they need to forcefully move us out, which is legal. If you provide a house for me and I refuse to move, and you force me out, that one is legal. But then, even that one, if it's in a rainy season, you need to hold on.
Okay.
But these guys, they didn't provide any alternative accommodation. And on that Saturday morning when they came, it was raining. And they forced the people out into the rains and demolished their homes. That is why I call it
This conflict about 100 yards and
yes,
300
we talked
and
about
just
that,
around the lagoon.
That is a very
Tell
shameful
me,
thing that it's now
what
degenerating
is
to this.
Yes.
You know, in 2012, I was there. I was talking about that. When they showed up and said they wanted to dredge the lagoon, we said, oh, that is great. And they said they wanted to break down some structures before they could do it. Initially, we protested because, by our experience, you don't have to break structures before you can do it. But then at a point, we realized that, look, we don't own this land. And what they are coming to do is a good thing. So we have to accept. So we went to them and we asked them to come and show us the level that they needed so that we will help them and demolish the structures ourselves. Because this is our community. So they came with bulldozers. They showed us the level they needed. And we did the destruction ourselves in 2012.
Okay.
We did it. And then we were able to resettle those who were affected within our homes and then within the community. People were hurt, people were angry because they lost their homes, but still we wanted to cooperate with the AMA. So we did that with the work. The space was there and they never did any work there. They didn't come to dissolve the lagoon. They didn't show up again. They just left the space and they walked away. Then people started accusing us of being wicked because we said we were going to do A, B, C, D, and we didn't do it. We broke down their structures.
Okay.
Fine.
So
the space was still there. And then people started encroaching again on the space. We told them.
Once the land is there, not being used, people will encroach.
We told them, people are now encroaching back on the lands you asked us to create. Can you please come and do the work so that we wouldn't have to do... They said we should protect it. And our leaders did a very good job by protecting it. So though some people were on it, but it was very few because of what the leaders were trying to do. Then 3 years down the line this year, when they came back, said they needed that space. We said, fine, that space is still there. They said that some few people have encroached on it, and we will be able to get them out because we were able to do it before. So we'll be able to get them out. So the agreement was that we should get these people out so that they will come and do the work.
Okay.
So we went and announced to those who are encroaching. Some of them had even left. We announced to them that if you know you encroach the land we created in 2012, please move because the AMA is coming to work there. Okay. Some people moved, others did not. And then we told the AMA that on the day they are coming, we will be able to move everybody, so they should come. They
and
said
that's the recent one?
Yes, they said they will come on Friday, just the past Friday.
Okay.
And on that Friday, we did not see them. The next day, Saturday morning, 4:30 a.m., they came. And they came with a different plan, a different action, because they showed up with a lot of military men, police, taking people out of their homes and demolishing these houses. Okay,
let's listen to, we spoke to the Accra mayor also, Alfred van der Poy, talking about why there is really no need to go back and talk to people before you embark on this demolition exercise, because he's been doing that sensitization for God knows how long. So we will now listen to what Mr. Oko van der Poy has to say about all that, Dr. Oko van der Poy, because he's not here. But at least we have an interview with him we can play back to know what he thinks.
want to invoke the rights they have in the Constitution. Many have raised the concerns that they were not given prior notice. Others also said that indeed they haven't been provided with temporary structures where they could put up and perhaps go and find permanent place of abode later. How do you react to these concerns?
As Chief Executive of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, I have an equal responsibility to all the people of Accra. Last 2 weeks, we lost 159 souls. They had rights. You understand? The people who are living on this, what we call it in the middle, they have rights. They have rights. The right that I have towards them is public safety. January, I came here and I spent over 4 million Ghana cedis to clean the edges of the Kole. That time I gave them warning. A year ago, when they set the whole place here on fire, I came here with my works director and I gave them warning that they should stop and shouldn't build it. They built. You understand? So this is the moment I've given them. I've been in office for 7 years. Of those 7 years, every day I've given them a warning.
So Accra Mayor Dr. Alfred Okuvandapoy says his being in office is notice enough. Abdullah.
Yes.
You get this notice all the time.
Well, the truth is that we get the notice that we will be relocated. That is what we have been told always. You see, two different things are happening here. We'll be relocated, that is talking about the whole community. And then those living along the banks of the Odo River and those living close to the Kole Lagoon will be evicted so that they can work. That eviction was done in 2012 by we, the residents ourselves. And he said he used how much money to clean the edges. I don't know when that was done. But in 2012, when we were doing the evictions along the Odo River and the Kole Lagoon, yes, they provided us with bulldozers, and we selected some members of the community, so they provided them with lacos so they can be identified. And then they used 2 days to do this work. And all the people who were doing the work were members of the community we selected. And then they showed us the limits they needed, and then we did it for them.
The Accra Mayor has an agenda to keep the city clean.
Yes.
And to make sure that projects he embarks on see completion. Now, Old Fadama has become a hindrance. And so he will clear Old Fadama anyway. What is the next line of action for you?
Well, for us, like yesterday, we made our position known. We told everybody that
you
this
think you made any impact with that?
It did. You know, on the demolition went on Saturday, the whole day. On Sunday, it was going on and helicopters were hovering around our community. But on Monday, because of the statements we made, nothing went on. So at least there was an impact. There was at least a space for people to pack their things, because people were not even given the opportunity to pack their things. But today, the demolition resumed. And as we speak, we are still making our own moves. Apart from the public statements that we are making, we are also making private contacts, moving to people we think are responsible. And we are telling them what we know and what is happening. We expect them to speak to the mayor.
But you see this demolition. Were you in today's meeting?
That particular political, I was not there. And I didn't even want to attend.
Why were you not there?
Because it was called by a political party, and I am totally against the politicization of this process.
I was coming to that.
When that is done, it will affect our points. And we are not claiming the land. But I think we are right, for at least for the meantime, to stay there until we are relocated. But if we try to politicize it, it will change.
And that's where we've got into.
So that is why I did not take part in that meeting.
But you were supposed to be there.
Yes, I was called, but I didn't go. And in fact, that meeting didn't agree on anything. Because if you have a reporter who went there, they'll tell you everybody was shouting on top of his voice. The meeting ended in an argument.
No, we were supposed to be joined by Deputy Local Government Minister Nilanti Vanderpoy. He's not here yet. But at that meeting we are talking about, we are referring to he actually spoke to the news team after the meeting. Aside all that happened in there, he spoke to the news team after the meeting, and we can listen to what he had to say, and then when he gets here, he'll clarify some of the points for us.
The follow-up meeting, I, the Deputy Regional Minister, the Mayor, NADMO, and others, we've had a
Okay, so actually he was trying to recap what happened in the meeting, and from the reports we got from our reporters who were there, it was politicized. And so more of the conversation was towards, don't try to do this to us, else we'll make you lose the elections. And it's like arm twisting.
And that is exactly why I did not go there. Because for me, I don't think that is the way we should go.
Were other members of the leadership there?
Yes.
Of the slum dwellers?
Yes, yes. I know our NDC, community NDC chairman was there.
That's still a political figure going there.
Who is also a very important opinion leader in the community. So, but then, for me, I think we should rather concentrate on asking them to do the right thing rather than threatening them with political, I don't know, like taking them out of power or whatever. Because if you do that, and let's say, okay, you don't take them out, or you take them out of power, and then the next person who comes says, I'm going to do it, what will you tell them?
But no one has had the guts to do it yet.
Oh, I think they have. Because at least I know in 2007, around 2007, 2008, our houses were numbered. And then they counted everybody. And they told us that now that your houses are numbered, keep that number. When we build your house at Ajegotuku, that is a number you will be used to be. That will be your residence. Yes, and that is the attempt people were, and that was a bold attempt. If that particular attempt was continued, but now old Fadama will not be here.
But where do you draw the line between the social needs of the people and politics? Because politics is what kicks all around.
I know, it's fused, it's the same. We have to get everything from politicians. But you see this particular one, the politicians have been very smart enough to whip sentiments against us because of the June 3rd flooding. So now everybody is like shouting they should let us go because we caused the June 3rd flooding, which is ridiculous.
Very.
You understand? So we don't want to take a hard stand. We want to at least make the people, Ghanaians, understand that we feel the pain that they are talking about. But the truth of it is we are not part of it. And immediately we toe a political line. Then we will get a confrontation with other Ghanaians who don't know the truth on the ground. And that is what we are trying to avoid.
Okay. So on this note, we take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk more about the demolition 10 politics. Okay, so we're back here in the studio. My name is Martha Krensolakwa, and I've been talking demolition tent politics, the politics of demolition in our country here. And I have in the studio Abdullah Hassan, who is the secretary of the Slum Union of Ghana. And we're talking about why politics is failing you when you want to add the two. Though they come together, it's difficult to
we would have
separate them.
We would have do that politics very well if this unfortunate incident on June 3rd hadn't come into play here.
Okay.
The AMA deceived Ghanaians that if they don't evict our community, that same thing might happen to Accra again. But many people believe that.
Because, you know, people are grieving, people are in pain, and so obviously they hear things that console them.
That's why we are avoiding the politics, because a lot of people died. And it's so painful that we live in a city where such a rain can cause this amount of death. But we make sure that we don't inflame passions.
Okay.
Already, the AMA have successfully put in people's mind that it's the cause of Old Fadama. But frankly, if it was supposed to be caused by Old Fadama, then it would have started in Old Fadama, because that is where the water would have collected. But the water did not even get to Old Fadama. It did not get there. The flooding in Old Fadama was much less than what happened upstream around.
So do you think the Accra mayor is very insensitive to your plight?
You see, by my tradition, I'm trained not to speak harsh words to leaders. Of course, this man, excuse my language, is like being very dishonest. That is the worst thing I can see. He says A to our leaders, and then he comes out and says B to the media, and then comes to our community, and that's C. So, for example, let's agree that he was coming to take 100 meters away from the lagoon. Your reporters was there. The demolition that was done, is it 100 meters away from the lagoon? It is not. Even today, I heard him on a certain network, I think it was here, Joy FM also, saying that, yes, it's more than 100 meters because he's now trying to create reasons why it should be more than 100 meters now.
Okay.
Meanwhile, that is not even what we agreed. We agreed
so
that...
So you think when you go to the table, you talk about one thing, then he goes back and does
and says
another
something
thing
else. Look, today, on another network, the spokesperson, the PRO of the AMA,
Numo
Blafo, mentioned that the Ajin Kutuku land was not meant to resettle the people of Old Fadama.
Okay. What was it meant for?
That it was meant to keep long vehicles like trucks that bring foodstuff from the north.
Okay.
I'm hearing this for the first time in my life.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he has been part of the AMA all this while. And now he's pretending that he doesn't know that the Ajin Kutuku land was supposed to resettle the people of Old Fadama.
Let's go back and then listen to Deputy Local Government Minister, who is also MP for Dudu, where you can find Old Fadama. And after the meeting, like I said earlier, he spoke to our news team. Let's hear what he had to say.
We've had a meeting, a follow-up meeting. I, the Deputy Regional Minister, the Mayor, NADMO, and others. We've had a follow-up meeting to the meeting yesterday. We agreed on some things. One of the basic issues we agreed is that those who have willingly decided to go back, we're going to make transportation available to them. We're going to make some little support available to them so that they will go back. We've organized already. We're getting some buses ready available. We are asking the executive to get in there and get those people ready, and then they will get back. Two, for those who do not want to go back, but they are affected by the women and children, we are working out an arrangement together, the mayor, the regional coordinating council, NADMO, and we are working an arrangement for them. For now, we are resolving. We are trying to see, and then the third one has to do with the scope. We've agreed on the scope of work to be done now, because they agreed on the 100 meters on both sides of the poly. Apparently, they are claiming the AMA has gone beyond the 100 meters, but we've decided, we've talked. So the mayor is going there with the executive now. We are all going to the side now to look at what has to be done, and then we'll try and make sure we stay within the boundaries of the 100 meters on both sides as have been agreed. I think it's been a good discussion. It's good we've had a discussion so that we'll know what to do. We'll take it from there.
Okay, so that was Deputy Local Government Minister Nilante Vanderpoy. And he said it's been a good discussion. Unfortunately, Abdullah didn't want to go into that meeting because it was politicized. And I agree 100%, because this man is protecting his constituency. He needs to go back to Parliament on the ticket of Udududu. Abdullah, it's been a good discussion. You were claiming that they've gone beyond the 100 meters. And they have had the talk, and it won't happen. The demolition won't continue. Well,
I don't know that, like, after this particular meeting, the demolition was still going on. The demolition went on until around 5 p.m. Okay. In fact, around 5:36, the demolition was still going on. So I don't know, but that is not even my point. For me, those who watched it can even judge. Whilst he's talking, you can hear some comments in the background.
Yes.
That tells you that a lot of things.
You had so many of the supporters of the NDC who are also affected by it because they are living there. And actually, we have some sound of them screaming to the point that they lost their voice, including the regional, the secretary, constituency secretary.
Yes, he was the one shouting in the background.
Yes, he did that all along till he lost his voice.
Yes, so it tells you that the meeting.
But now, Alfred Oko Vanderpoy, Dr. Vanderpoy is trying to mitigate the impact by offering to transport those who actually want to go back home.
Oh, and that is another
It's a human face.
And that is another funny media.
Call it funny?
Funny media propaganda.
Okay.
As we speak, if you can send a reporter to go to the Opera Square where the Metro Mass load from Accra to Tamale, you find people sleeping there looking for bus to go. I was there.
Okay.
As at the time this particular meeting was going on, I actually went there to find out if there will be enough buses to take them. The people have the money to even pay, and they are not getting buses to go.
Wow.
And at the same time, he was telling the media that he's ready to provide buses.
Yes.
Then why didn't he provide that?
Okay, I heard two things, and one was very funny. The other was okay, like the mass transportation to send those who want to go back. And the second one that I thought was funny was to provide shelter or accommodation, temporal accommodation for those who don't want to go.
These are the demands we made.
Okay.
These are the demands we made. And yesterday, those demands were rubbished. And today, he's claiming in the media that he wants to do it. I don't know when he wants to do it. He wants to wait for the people to be beaten by the rains before he does.
So what kind of support are you giving to the people who are displaced, those who want to go back? They are frustrated, they want to go back
For
home.
those who want to go back, unfortunately, we, the residents, we are just like them. We don't have any resources to help them. So those who can afford to go, they mass up at bus stations, and then there's shortage of buses to go. And we try to contact other transport companies to help them. Like I told you, I was at the Metro Mass station this afternoon trying to do that. That is the best we can do, given what we have. But those who want to go and they cannot afford, all that we are doing is, for the meantime, housing them in our mosques, churches, and other structures that are still standing. And then also, for those of us who are fortunate that our houses are still standing, we house them in our homes. That's what we are doing for the meantime.
Okay, tell me something. There are people who are watching, and the impression they have of old Fadama is the Sodom and Gomorrah impression. So many of us, that's the impression we have. Not to play on emotions, but what stands out at old Fadama? What makes it a peculiar settlement that people don't see? All we hear about are the negatives and no positive at all.
What stands out in old Fadama is the human resource.
Okay.
Everybody in old Fadama is hardworking. I say they are hardworking because if you go there, you see that everybody will be busy doing something. It's not like some communities where you go and see people gathered, seated at one place and gossiping. There's no time. Because in old Fadama, if you are not hardworking, unfortunately, you cannot live there because everything is paid for in the community. You pay for water to drink, you pay for food, you pay to pee, you pay to go to toilet, you pay to bath, you pay to sleep.
You pay for everything.
You pay for everything. So if you are not a hardworking person, you cannot live there. So
but then again, you have people, it may be a smaller group, it may be the bigger group, but you have people who have given this community the bad name.
Yes. For me, the bad name is not coming from the people. It's coming from the environment.
But there are activities in there that makes it questionable. There are activities
I don't know the kind of activity in old Fadama that is peculiar to only old Fadama.
So if there are
every activity
there, they are around other slums and other communities too.
Yes, unfortunately for us we are talking now, I don't think there are drug peddlers in Old Fadama. But what I can say is that, yes, there are no drug peddlers in Old Fadama. What I can say is this. In every community, remember our number is very big.
Yes.
We have close to 100,000 people in Old Fadama. And if there's a community of 50,000 people even, there will be some people who will be criminals, some people who will do bad things in the dark. But if you want, just get a reporter to talk to the Old Fadama police station commander. He will tell you that we, the residents, especially the tribal chiefs, if they get to know that somebody is a criminal, whether thief or like you said, drug peddler, we arrest the person ourselves.
Really?
Yes, you get someone to go talk to
then
the
by
police
now
commander.
there won't be any vice in that
ourselves.
community.
The point is that there will always be one, because the criminal will not do it open, he will hide. But if you try to do it and then we see you, we'll arrest you ourselves, we'll take you to the police commander.
Do you think the leadership is overwhelmed by the numbers? And so you can't keep an eye on everyone, and people go wayward and they get away with it?
Of course, there's no way you can keep an eye on everybody, especially with the numbers.
Then you can as well not say that you don't have those
drug peddlers.
Yes, not just them, other vices in the
I'm
community.
not saying we
the
don't have them.
just
I
one.
think I said that we have them just like any other community, but they are not doing it with impunity as people want us to believe. You know, when people say, for me, when you mention Sodom and Gomorrah, the first thing that comes to mind is sodomy. And Old Fadama is a Muslim community. About 80% of the people are Muslims. We have the highest number of mosques in any community. Compared to any community in Accra.
How many do you have?
We have more than 30 mosques within the same community, because about 100,000 people, about 80% of them.
Do you have any idea about the land size of Old Fadama?
It's 21 point, I think it's 21 point
Just over
something
21
hectares.
Wow.
And this is what happens. If we get to know that you have this bad attitude, all that we do is, sometimes, anyway, we can arrest you, give you to the police. But other times, if we have tribal leaders, if you belong to a particular tribe, if we are seeing you for the first time, we move you to the tribal leader, and they will find ways of either cautioning you or disciplining you in a way.
So you have structures in place.
Yes,
to
we
deal
have
with
structures. So it's not just, the only thing I see there that I think stands out negatively is the filth.
The filth, okay.
Yes.
So
and that,
Abdullah,
I agree.
Abdullah's biggest concern is the filth. And that seemed to be the concern of Dr. Alfredo Vanderpoy too.
Yes, and it's the concern
so
of
you must
we,
be able
the
to
residents
agree.
as well. No, of course, that is the biggest challenge. I don't know why we are not agreeing, because we are all sharing the same concern. The filth is there. We come out, we clean, we gather it, and there's no waste management company to take it out.
Clear it, okay.
So it will be there, and then when wind blows, it scatters again. When it rains, it goes back to our small drains we have in our community, and then water will carry it into the Odo River.
Okay.
We went to appeal to the AMA to assign us with a waste management company that will take our waste anytime we clean. And they tell us that if they do that, they will be legitimizing our community. And they don't want to legitimize it. So they don't want to legitimize it.
on that legitimization note, we need to go for another break. And when we come back, we'll open the phone lines, and then you can join us and tell us what you think about the demolition politics, or politics in demolition. Okay, so we're still talking demolition politics, and I have Abdullah here with me, who is from the Slum Union of Ghana. And you were making a submission about legitimizing your stay, and so you won't get waste collectors to come in there.
Yes. So in as much as we are staying there illegitimately, according to them, but there's a need to collect that refuse, because that refuse is the biggest challenge with us, and it's, at the same time, it's also the biggest challenge with the AMA. Why don't they bring in these waste management companies? they should come and do that polluter pay system. Who will pay? Because even as we are in now, there are young guys who have taken it as their work to
they
go
are collecting
around,
and you're paying for it,
and then we pay. And when they take it, they go and dump it within the community again because they don't have anywhere to dump.
Okay.
So instead of them taking it and dumping it within the community, a waste management company should come, will pay, and then they will take it out and dump it somewhere. That would have helped all of us, but they refused. Also, the waste you see in Old Fadama is not just created by the people of Old Fadama. You saw where the president was standing. He was standing by a project they call the Kole Lagoon Ecological Restoration Project. They have built a very big structure there that has a machine in it, and they've had a chimba that cut across the Odo River at the edge of between Odo River and the Kole Lagoon. So when the water comes to run into the Kole Lagoon, that particular machine stops the water, separate the solid waste, and then allow the fresh water to run into the Kole Lagoon. Now this particular Odo River you see, if you go to Circle right now, you see the amount of waste on it. When it rains, all the wastes are moved.
And it will end up
at that machine. Then the machine separates it, then the water flows into the lagoon.
Let me just quickly announce our phone line. So if you want to join the conversation, you can call us on 0302 211 701 or 0302 211 701 702 or 703-704. You can join us. But right now we have Smiler on the phone line. Hello, Smiler. Hello.
Hello.
Am I speaking with Smiler?
Yes, please.
Where are you calling from, Smiler?
I'm calling from Pusiga in the Upper East region.
Okay, Smiler. What do you think about the demolition politics and the whole conversation we're having?
Well, first of all, I want to say good evening to my good brother Abdallah.
Good evening.
I think he has given us enough education, especially we those who are not privy to the current demolition going on there. But I think from what he is saying, it is now very clear that there are a lot of clouds behind what is happening there. And I was particularly happy with his decision not to go into that meeting that took place. Was it today or yesterday?
Today.
It is high time we Ghanaians eschew this politics and talk about things that will develop all of us as Ghanaians. So when issues like this of national interest come in and we don't eschew politics, at the long run, it affects all of us. For instance, the incident that happened on June 3rd, it was a Black Wednesday to all of us as Ghanaians. But from what he is saying, it means they have used that one to do something against them which is not unwarranted. So we should task our leaders, especially the AMA board.
All right, and stay away from the politics and get issues addressed. Thank you very much, Sumaila from Pusiga. We have Ni on the line. Hello, Ni.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Ni. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Accra.
Accra, Ni. What's your submission on the demolition politics and the whole old Fadama debate?
My question is that I want to have you about that land, I don't know, that Freedom and Goodman land. Is it for the Ghana state or is for the AMB?
Come again.
My question is that the land that now they are demolishing
yes.
Is it for the Ghana state or the AMB?
Is it for the Ghana state or the AMB?
That is also another contention between the government of Ghana. In fact, it's not. The contention is between Ministry of Works and Housing on behalf of government and the Ghana state.
Okay, so it's not clear yet.
So it's not clear yet.
And
for those who stay there, we don't have to point out who it belongs to until the courts settle it.
Okay, Ni. So your submission. Okay, Ni is off, but Ni's question is answered. We have Mohammed also on the line. Mohammed. Hello, Mohammed. Okay, we seem to have lost Mohammed. So we were continuing. You don't want to point out who it belongs to.
Yes, because that is not what we should be doing.
Yes.
Of course, whether it belongs to government or it belongs to the Ghana state, we are not owners of that land. We are just being there for a temporary settlement, so we don't have to be part of it. But this is what I was saying. That particular machine separates the waste, and then the water runs into the lagoon without the waste. And the waste are piled there, just around our community. And by the work of the machine has something that's supposed to collect the waste upstream so that a big truck will come and take it away. But the machine has not been working. So the waste is piling there, and no one is coming to collect it.
That is another health hazard.
Yeah, so if you go there, it looks very bad. Okay. So people see it and they say, look at how your community is bad.
And that is not filth generated by you?
No.
Okay, let's go back to our phone lines and speak with Amina from Tamale. Hello, Amina.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Amina.
Good evening.
Good evening, Amina. What's your
I'm very happy with your discussion on PM Express. I just want to say that the government has done very well this time for being able to take them out of that place. So it will make the city very neat.
Okay. You think they are making the city dirty?
Yes. So as they are not there, the city will be very neat. Thank you very much.
Okay, Amina. That's what you think. We have Adam also from Tamale. Adam, good evening. Hello, Adam.
Good evening.
Welcome onto PM Express.
Yeah, good evening. How are you?
Fine, thank you. What's your take on this discussion?
Yeah, thank you.
Hello, Adam. Go ahead.
Demolition. Demolition of Sodom and Gomorrah. We are so pleased today from Tamale. In fact, it has been a dent on our image. We are not the only poorest people in this country. Cannot understand why our brothers who can even rent decent places. In fact, the gentleman you have in your studio, you see how decent and good he can speak?
Yes.
I believe he can go and rent a more decent places too.
So you think the people there are not bad people? Nobody is saying that.
Don't want to live there. In fact, they have electricity free, water free, everything free. That's why they don't want to live there. So as a northerner, I'm calling on government to clear the whole place. They should all live there. Thank you very much.
Thank you. But that is not very true. He said they pay for everything. They don't have anything free.
Let me make this point. That is another propaganda going on. People claim that we have illegal electricity.
Okay, let's take them. Note it down. Let's take this and then we come back and react to all that. We have Haruna from Bolga. Hello, Haruna.
Hello, madam. Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome to PM Express.
I hope your guest is doing well.
Yes.
I'm doing well.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank God. Please, I want to find out from your guest. Is it the Ghana chief that gave them the land to settle there or the Republic of Ghana?
He was just clarifying that question came in earlier, and he said they don't want to talk about it because there is even a litigation
between government
and then the Ghana chiefs.
But for us, we were settled there by the Republic of Ghana.
They were settled there by the Republic of Ghana.
Okay. So it means now they are there. They don't even know who brought them there, whether it's the Ghana state or the Republic of Ghana.
They know. He just mentioned it. He just mentioned the Republic of Ghana. That is Ministry of Works and Housing on behalf of the Republic of Ghana. Hello. All right. We have Yaya also on the line. Hello, Yaya from Wa. Hello, Yaya.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, Yaya. Go ahead.
I want to also contribute to the program that the people that are living there, they are Ghanaians as any other person. But the way and manner we treated them, it is not the best.
Okay.
You know, this is how we...
Hello, Yaya. We seem to have lost Yaya also on the line from Wa, but we need to be wrapping up now. Yes. You can react to some of the concerns that the free
is not true. Okay. In the first place, because we don't have enough lands there, we don't have enough space in our homes to create bath, toilet.
The basic amenities.
Yes. So you just have where you sleep. So people create this public bath house and they connect water from Ghana Water Company and they have meters that they pay to Ghana Water Company, and they intend to sell the water to us. So people sell water to us. I buy a bucket of water, 40 pesos every morning to bath. So it's not true to say I get water for free. Electricity. Okay. The ECG said because we don't have layout, we don't have house numbers, they will not be able to go to every home to collect light bill. Okay. So they identify some people, they give them meter, and then these people intend to redistribute the lights to people they know. Okay, so they will come to the
distributors person in your community.
Yes, so they will come to the person they know. So if you go there and register and get a meter, every month you will go and buy the lights. The light it's even prepaid meter. How do you do illegal connection? So you go and buy the lights.
So that's possible. People are doing illegal connection.
Well, for us, we connect from the meters, and we think because we pay to them, and we see them go and buy credit. Okay. We are using legitimate electricity.
All right, that's good. You reacted to that, but we need to wrap up. You need to be relocated with a human face, yes. But that is not happening. As we sit here, when you move from here, what will be the next line of action for the leadership of the slum dwellers?
So for us, we think some people are responsible, and there are levels of responsibility. So after contacting the first person, if it doesn't work, we go to the next person until we get the things done. So we are working on it. Apart from talking publicly, we are also contacting them personally because they are human beings like us.
Okay. Yeah. So as you make that effort, you hope your building will be standing?
Yes, because as I speak right now, I know most of the military men who were surrounding my community has been withdrawn. Okay. And I hope that they don't come back.
We hope they don't come back.
Because for me, they have been withdrawn because of the work we are doing on the ground so far. And then hopefully they will not come back. And those houses that are still standing will continue to stand. And those whose houses has been demolished, we'll see what we can do next.
Thank you very much, Abdallah Al-Hassan, Secretary of the Slum Union of Ghana. We've been talking demolition politics, and you joined us from your homes, gave us your contributions, and lend us your ears so you can listen and watch us. It's been good coming your way with this edition of Demolition Politics on PM Express. My name is Martha Prince-Owakwa.